Hi there, Michelle here, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am finally going to be crocheting things for my new car. If you've been watching my vlogs in the last probably 2 to 3 months, then y'all know that I had to get a new car. It wasn't my choice, okay? My old Honda Civic was like, Michelle, it's done. We're done. I gotta go my own way now. I tried to keep my Honda Civic for as long as I possibly could. I got my Honda Civic back in 2014. It was my grandfather's car. He got it, I think, in 2010, 2011. It's a 2009. So I've had it for 12 years. And it's so funny because last summer I was driving it and like in the back of my head, like I just knew like this is the last summer I was gonna have the car. I took care of that car. Every time it needed an oil change, every time I heard a weird noise, I took it to the mechanics. I got it fixed, okay? It wasn't like I was just like going la 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 and like everything was falling apart around me in the car, okay? Like I took care of this car. So me and my dad went to a dealership. It was a Haldeman. That's where we normally get our cars. I was looking for another Honda, okay? I tried the Honda, what was it, HRV, and I just wasn't a fan of it. It kind of reminded me of the Dodge Magnum, which we also used to have, and like that was like one of the first cars I ever drove. Now, the first car I ever drove was a Chevy Caprice. It was this car here. Think those old cop cars in those 1980 movies. That's what I had to learn to drive in. Anyhow, I digress. I ended up getting a Chevy Trax. I did not know the car existed, and now I see them everywhere. But I like it because it's not a big SUV, but it's bigger than a hatchback. I like going to estate sales. I like going to thrift stores. And a lot of times I couldn't buy bigger pieces of furniture and stuff because they wouldn't fit in my car. Anyhow, my new car is vastly different than my old car. My old car had like fabric seats. It was like a light gray material, no tinted windows. It was very light. It was very airy. It was very much a grandpa car because it was my grandpa's car, but it had that vibe. So I kind of made it more like that 70s, 80s, like right in that in between where it was like, you know, like oranges and browns and yellows and like very fall. And I made it more of like that type of like theme in the car. Okay. My cars have themes. Well, my new car is all black. The interior is like black. I don't know if it's leather or full leather seats. I prefer fabric seats, okay? Leather seats, I don't really care. They get hot in the summertime. I like fabric seats. Tinted windows, I didn't put the tinted windows in. They came with the car. Would I have put tinted windows in? Probably not, because I like it being nice and light and airy, and now I feel like it's very dark in there. Although I have to say, like, it's protecting me from the sun. So I mean, like, that's good. I've decided that the theme for my new car is 1980s roller rink. So now we're finally into the crocheting part of the video, okay? I have the perfect yarn for these projects. I want to make headrest covers for the front and back seats. I want to make cup coasters, you know, like where I put my ice caps. They're really great for absorbing because, you know, sometimes if you're drinking something on a hot day and the condensation and then it drips on your pants or your shirt or whatever, the cup coasters kind of like absorb it, so when you pick it up it's not going to leak everywhere. Maybe some cup cozies if I have time. I also want to make something for the little armrest area, and I want to make a blanket for the back. Now normally I would love to thrift a blanket. I know I have a lot of blankets here that I could put in there. Even this one would probably match, but I have so much yarn that I'm trying to use up. Again, this is the year of stash busting. Also blankets. Great, I just realized I'm making another blanket. It's like I knew I was making a blanket. Like I knew I was making a blanket, but at the same time, I kind of forgot I had to make a blanket, if that makes sense to anybody. I just finished making a gigantic Stranger Things blanket and I thought I was done with blankets. I don't make blankets a lot, and I say that, but now I'm lying because this year I have made so many blankets. For all of these projects, I am going to be using the Red Heart all-in-one granny squares from Yarnspirations because I had a bad habit of buying every single color and I haven't used every single color, so I'm going to try to use as many colors as possible. So these are the yarns that I'm going to use for this project. This one in particular, I am so excited to use. This one looks so cute. I love it. If you've watched my channel for a while, then you are very familiar with what this yarn is. I have made so many videos that I had to make a whole playlist of all the videos because that's how many videos I have of this. I have never actually used this one yet, as in the one with the black outer perimeter. With these Yarnspiration yarns, there's, I believe, 3 different color types you can get. And by color types, I mean the last row on each one is in 3 categories. So you get this one here, which the last row is black. The other ones that I've used, the last rows are white, and then there's another one where the last rows are beige. So if you buy all of them that all have the same border color on them, then when you join them up, like kind of like this, all the borders will match. So I'm picking the one with the black borders because this is giving very neon 1980s roller ring vibes. That is why I've decided to go with these. So if you're not familiar with these yarns, they are all-in-one granny square yarns that change the color for you. So you're not having to pick the next color, you're not having to weave in a bunch of ends. This will change the colors for you. And I love that because you only have to weave in the very beginning and the very end. There's minimal ends to be woven in, and that is why I love this yarn so much. This also takes the pressure off of trying to figure out what colors go well with what, already done for you. Certain ones work better than other ones, okay? There's one called Citrus Twist. I had a problem with the colors lining up, and a lot of y'all have commented that y'all had problems with the colors lining up. So I'm really hoping that these don't give me too much trouble. But honestly, I'm kind of at that point with these yarns that if it doesn't line up, I'm going to fudge it a little bit. Meaning, if I am like short a color, then maybe instead of doing, because it's granny squares, instead of doing maybe 3 double crochets in a cluster, I do 2. Or if I have too much, maybe I do 4. But I don't want to be ripping it out to redo it over and over and over again. I don't want it to be the quilt motif ones again. It was the corner to corner and corner to corner. It was beautiful. I love how it looks. It was very easy to do. I kind of forget how to do it now, but at the time it was really easy to do, but the colors never lined up. I don't recommend that one. I also have a whole video of me ranking my favorite and least favorite of these. The colors that I'm going to use for this project are Rad Party, Cyber Leaf, Hyper Violet, and Neon Lights. This one here has been in my yarn stash for so long that, like, look at the paper. It is like crumbling because I have been moving it around so much. I think this one I'm definitely going to make the headrest covers. I really like it. And then for the blanket in the back, I'm just going to make a bunch and then like see how they all fit. The cup coasters, cup cozies maybe, and the armrest. I'm not going to use this for the armrest because my armrest is more rectangular and this is more square. So I think I might have to go in my yarn stash and maybe find some colors and do some type of thing. I don't know. That's probably my last project that I'm going to do because I'm not 100% certain. So if I don't find something that I like or a design that I like, I'm just going to nix it for this video. So we're going to have to see how that goes. For the blanket part, I don't know what I'm going to do to join them together yet. Because the last color of each one is black, that would have been my join as you go color, and I would have joined them together with another yarn. So here's the thing. I don't know if I want to use the last color on each one of these rows and then buy a black yarn and join them together with a new yarn. Both ideas are really good. I just don't know which one would look better. I don't want to like make all the borders in black, then buy like a cool color and then put it together and realize I don't like it. I don't like sewing the squares together, and I don't like doing the mattress stitch to granny squares just because they pucker and they look a little awkward. I personally like doing a join as you go method. That's something I got to think about, but first I guess I got to start working on these squares. If you are new to my channel and you like crocheting and yarn and knitting and thrifting in the 80s and like this general vibe, then why not hit the subscribe button? If you subscribe to my channel, then you will be up to date with all of my latest videos and projects. So this is the back seat area that I'm going to be covering up with granny squares. I did bring my measuring tape so we can measure the back part of this. I also did make one square and I blocked this one square out. That way I can kind of like see how it's gonna look. Because yes, I know I have a measuring tape, but I need to see something physically in the space. First, let's measure this. Okay, so 47 inches by about 28. So that's 47 by 28. And with my one square kind of like as a guide, if I put my 2 fingers like this, it's kind of like that's the join as you go color because I'm going to do a join as you go color in between. If we start down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's too long just for 6, but it's also like not long enough for 7 squares. I think I'm gonna do 7 across and then up. I want it like, I don't want it to start here. I want it to start like at the top. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's gonna be 7 by 4. I think I'm only gonna do the back part. I'm not gonna do this because that's just too many squares. I just want the back cover, even though, yes, I know there's the fun racing stripes, like the little red marks, because this is the RS edition, the fancy sport edition. You got to make it more, you know, retro. Anyways, let's go to the front. Here's the front seats. These were the original that I had in the Honda Civic, but they are really baggy on the new headrest. So if I just take this off just to show you, like, that's what the headrest looks like. And yes, I know it says RS and it's the sport mode, but I'm gonna cover it up. And then of course we have the beaded seat cover, which I absolutely love. I won't get rid of it because I love my beaded seat cover. So I want to make new headrests for these. These are cute. Like, I like them. They're way too big for the new car. These are just a little bit too small. These used to fit the old one. Also, they need a good wash. So I want to make some new cup cozies. There's my little pom-pom Paran. You know, my cat Whispers, he acts like pom-pom. He just sits up there. So I have him and he's very cute. I really like him. I have started making them. I have made 4. This one I actually wasn't too sure if I was going to make it or not, because I feel like these ones go together so well, but I actually really like that one too. That one's really fun. I feel like these two kind of match and like those two kind of match, but then like that matches in there, and then I got the green that kind of matches in there, so they all kind of go together. This one is definitely going to be the headrest for all 4. I really like that. I also have my blocking board that I got from Amazon. I should have bought a bigger one. So if you're going to get a blocking board, buy one that's bigger. These like basically fill it out. So I'm going to start blocking them because they are curling, mainly because I'm not doing like the chain spaces. I'm not doing 3 chain spaces in the corner. I'm only doing 2. No chain spaces in between each cluster. And some rows I can get away with the 5mm, and other rows I gotta go down to a 4.5. I figure that if I block them, they'll get back to their normal shape, and that way they'll all be the same size. So I will be blocking these today, and then I'm just gonna work on as many as I possibly can. Last night I got some squares done. I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 squares. If you watched my last vlog, then you'll know that I mentioned that I was getting my hair done by my sister. I got it dyed a little bit darker. I forgot that this is like the hair color that I get. It's like this darker color, and then over time it kind of just fades to like a nice brown, so I don't have like that harsh root, you know what I mean? And I forgot how dark this is. It's a pretty, it looks black, but it's like a dark brown. And then I also got a few little layers, so that's update on my hair. Anyhow, today I did go to Michael's and I got some yarn. So first off, I got this yarn here. It is the Big Twist Value Pound. I actually really like this yarn. It reminds me of the Lions brand yarn, and I did make a sweater with this yarn before, and I really liked working with it. The color is, if I can find it, it's called Teal. This is like that green that I was talking about, again, the Jazz Cup. This is what I want, and I think that this is gonna look good with all of the colors, but I was really debating on getting like this bright green, this bright pink, there was a bright yellow, and there was a bright orange, like all these really great neon colors, and I was like, oh my goodness, like I need to get it. But then I thought back and I'm like, well, what colors do I already have in the squares? And I had to make sure that whatever joining color I got would match all these. Any of the colors that I just mentioned wouldn't go with this one. And I think that this one here would work the best. Wanted a teal like this. I think that like this is probably the closest that I'm gonna get. So I'm very happy with this. Now, while I was there, I also saw this other Big Twist yarn, and I was really close of getting that for the Join As You Go. And then obviously I decided on this one. But I did actually buy that other yarn too. I bought this yarn here. It is the Big Twist Value, and it has like all these beautiful colors in it, and the color is called Rainbow Bright. When I saw Rainbow Bright, I'm like, I have to buy it. You can't get any more 80s than Rainbow Bright. Kind of thinking maybe I would join all the squares with this multicolor, and like that would look cool too. And here's the thing, I love that idea. That idea would have been great. However, I don't know how many of these I would have had to buy. So that would have been a little bit out of my price range, but I also just wanted a solid color. I think a solid color is the way to go. I was kind of thinking, wait a minute, I need to make cup cozies. I need to make cup coasters. This yarn will make the perfect cup coaster and cup cozies. It has all the colors. It's called Rainbow Bright. It's very neon, very 80s, very roller rink. Okay, like this will be perfect. Then, as I was about to leave, I'm like, wait a minute, I need something for my mirror. And unfortunately, the way that my car is designed, it's a big window. It's not one of those small windows. If you ever drove a Magnum, a Dodge Magnum, it felt like the window was like this big, okay? This is like, it's a pretty decent sized window. However, how the window is and where it is, I can't put something big, because originally, if you watch my previous vlogs, I was talking about how I wanted to make some Rubik's Cubes. Like, you know, like the fuzzy dice, but like make them Rubik's Cubes. Unless I make really, really, really small ones. I do have that one too. I could always hang this one. It's a little tiny mini one and it does work, but it is so like sticky and gummy, like you can't twist them. I could hang this, but I also bought these. These were in the Halloween section because apparently there's Halloween Christmas trees, which I'm well aware of. Don't have a Halloween Christmas tree because I don't have room for a Halloween Christmas tree. But they had disco balls. And so I was kind of thinking, well, what is more 80s roller rink than a disco ball? I'm thinking like one of these. I don't know about the teal one because there's so much teal in the car already, but I'm kind of thinking maybe like one of these. I'm thinking maybe closer to the orange one, but I do like the pink one too. So I'm thinking about putting them on the mirror to, like, again, give that 1980s roller rink disco vibe. That is the update for right now. Today, I am just going to make as many granny squares as possible, and we'll see how that goes. I am starting crocheting for the day. I've also written out this. This is kind of a guideline of what I need to do. So in the past, when I would make the squares, I haven't made one of these like basic squares in so long. Actually, I think the last time was when I was making this, I made like that's one of those squares. Anyways, like if I felt like I was running out of yarn per row, I would just switch down to an entirely smaller hook and do the whole square on that same hook. Well, I've kind of found out that with these in particular, I need to switch the hooks every other row. First row, I need to use a 4.5. The second and the third row, I need to go up to a 5mm hook. And then the last two rows, I have to go back down to a 4.5mm hook. I just worked on this one, and like most of them work out the way that I have like written it down, but this one I could have used, I actually cut it because I was not going to take the blue row out because I had too much blue. I could have used a 5 for the last 2 rows, and all the other ones, like if you think about it like data wise, all the other ones that I've done in this colorway, I needed to go down half a hook size, and then this one I didn't. I understand if all of them are a little wonky, but if they're all wonky at the same time in the same spots. And then you get this random one that is different than the rest. And I don't think my tension has changed since I started crocheting a few hours ago. So I really don't know. So these are the squares from yesterday. I'm gonna take them off because I think they're good to go because I really need to fit the new ones on so I can get those blocked and ready to go. I need to make 6 more for the blanket. now what I'm gonna do is, because the squares are done, I am going to take these and wind them up. So I already kind of did that with these two, wound them up, because like how floppy that is, if I'm gonna throw that in with the rest of my yarn, it's just gonna become a jumbled up, tangled mess that I'm not gonna wanna clean up in a future yarn cleaning video, because you know that's gonna come eventually. Because the way they are, you have to pull from the center. It will get tangled if I pull from the outside. What I've been doing is I've been balling them up, and then I've been putting in the yarn winder, so it goes like this, and then that way when I start, the outer layer is where I start. So that way I can put this on one of my yarn spinners in the future if I decide to make more squares, and then I can just use the yarn spinner, which I love using, and I just don't use it enough lately, just because the yarn that I have is not really, doesn't really belong on that. So I'm gonna ball these up real quick and then put them on the yarn spinner. The ends have all been woven in, and I'm just going to count to make sure that I have 7 of each, because these two are kind of like, I want to call them solid, but they're not. It's just the colors are the same. Like this is clearly green and this is like a purple pink, whereas these ones have like different colors in them. So I think I'm going to go like one of these, then a colorful one, and then back to this. I kind of see myself starting off with a green, and then I'll go here, here, that. And then I'm gonna start it over again. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the order they're gonna go in is Cyber Leaf, Neon Lights, Hyper Violet, Rad Party. And then it's gonna repeat itself until I get to 7, but because it's an odd number, it's gonna stop there. But then after Hyper Violet, it goes Rad Party. Rad Party's gonna start off the thing again. And then after Rad Party is Cyber Leaf. That is gonna be the layout for the blanket. And so I'm gonna have to start doing the join as you go down here, and then up, and then up, and then up, and then around. Now I get to take this fun color, the Big Twist Value Pound Plus, in the color teal, and do a join as you go with this. I think this is going to look so good with all the colors. I get to do join as you go. I just have to watch a video to refresh my memory on how to do that. And I'll link the video in the description if any of y'all are interested in learning the way I join as you go. Trying to get the yarn out, and he's decided to sit on the squares. You can't sit on the square. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Just loves the pats. You can't sit on the squares. He's just a little boy. An adorable little boy. I got the first row done. I think that this turquoise color was the right choice. I think it looks really great. I think it looks great with the green, with this, with it looks great with all of them. I'm always questioning my choices. I wasn't too sure. And here's the thing. Although I do love the all-in-one granny square yarn, crocheting with a yarn that I don't have to worry about my tension or am I going to have enough for the next row, so nice. You know, it's like, okay, well, I'm definitely not gonna run out of that. Hoping to get the blanket done today and hopefully the headrest done today, and then we'll see where we are for there, because I know the cup cozies and the cup coaster, or the cup coaster and the cup cozy, are not going to take that long, but I don't know if I'm going to want to do them today. I don't know, it just depends on how long this takes. This is where I'm going to stop for today. It is almost 9 p.m. I got a late start and I am so tired today. I also forgot how long Join As You Go takes. I forgot how long it takes. I got 3 rows done. Kind of wish that I would have put another border around the black, like another black border, so the black kind of stood out a little bit more. Hi, Totoro. Once again, does not want anything to do with me all day. The second I turn the camera on and I have a blanket down, she's all about it. Because I think the black border would have made all the colors really pop. I don't know, I've committed to the teal, and so the teal it is. It looks very 80s. But yeah, I have one more row to go. I'm gonna do that tomorrow because I'm so tired. Update on the car projects. I kind of thought I would have gotten them done today, or by today. I'm still working on it. Yesterday I had to go to work, and because I worked so early, I was exhausted. And then I couldn't focus for the rest of the day. I really wanted to get the blanket done. I didn't get the blanket done. I still have one full row to go. Also, I forgot how long drawing the to-go takes. But it looks so good. That's why I do it. This is how far I've gotten with the blanket. Last night I was kind of looking at it and I'm like, did I pick the right color for the drawing as you go? Should I have just done another black border? And then the colors would really pop, and I still kind of like that decision better, but I bought this, so we're using this. And we'll see how it goes. You know, I'll have it in my car for a while, and if, you know, in a few months, I'm like, you know what? I don't like it. I can just take it apart and redo it. I don't have to remake the squares. So, like, that's fine. I still have to do one more row at the top, and then I have to still finish the side, and I have to finish the bottom of it. I have not started the headrest covers. Well, I mean, technically I started them. I got all the squares are done for them, but I have to put another border in this. So now I have to wait for this to be done so I can cut this to do the borders on the headrests. And I really should have done the headrests yesterday because then I could have blocked them overnight. I didn't think that this was going to take me so long to do. And I just wanted to get the blanket done, and I didn't get it done. So today I want to get this blanket done. I want to get the headrest done. I want to get everything done today. I have fallen just a little bit behind, but kind of also just want to take my time. I don't want to rush these projects, even though, like, I really kind of want to start my next project. But because of last week's project and how long that took me and how much I was crocheting on that, I really wanted to take a step back this week and just kind of take it easy. So even though I am a little bit further behind than I would like to be, I'm gonna get it done today. Yesterday, I knew I wasn't gonna get all the projects done by today. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to film the outro today. So why am I, like, making myself feel bad by not getting these things done when I have all today to do them? I don't know if I'm gonna do anything for the center console yet. I'm still kind of thinking about it because I do have another granny square. I know I have so much granny squares, but I have another granny square that reminds me of this one here, the teal, the purple, and the yellow, but it's a mini one. It's the petite granny square. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I could use those because those are really cute too. I gotta go get them in the camper. Also, the reason why I didn't do the headrests yesterday because I didn't know where my black yarn was. I had it in here. I brought it in the camper. I saw where it was in the camper. Yesterday I went into the camper to go look for it. It wasn't there. I don't know where it went. Yeah, I'm just gonna get all the crocheting done today. Just, like, relax because it is a very beautiful day outside. The current temperature is 68 degrees outside. Like, I can have my windows open. I love having my windows open. Like, air conditioning is nice, but when you can get that breeze, that is what I love. I'm just going to enjoy today and just take my time and get some crocheting done. I finished the blanket and now I have to work on the headrests. I'm going to do one more border with this teal color, and then I'm going to do another border in black, and then I'm going to do a granny square the same size as the finished granny square of this, so it will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'll do a 7-rowed granny square times 4. I hope that this is enough. I don't know if this is going to be enough. I hope so. If not, I'll go grab another black in my camper and use that for the back ones. It's fine. Last night I really wanted to get these done and it just didn't happen. I was so tired and I forgot how long granny squares take. When they're 5 rows, it's fine, but I had to like make more rows and then I had to add on to the granny squares I already had. I also had to switch yarns. I ran out of the one yarn I was using. I believe it was Pound of Love. So I switched to this Loops and Threads black, which is a little bit thicker. And because it's a little bit thicker, I didn't have to do as many rows. The amount of rows on here are 7, but look how good that teal looks. Like that teal looks like the same color as that. But this one, because it is a thicker yarn, I only did 6 rows and it's the exact same size. I now need to join these together and I'm just going to crochet them together. I think that's going to look fine. I did test it out already. I did one last night and I put it in my car this morning just to make sure it works, because I would hate to make all 4 of them and realize they're too small or they're too big. So I did one just to see how it looks, and it looks so good and it fits the headrests perfectly. I finished the headrests. I just need to weave in the ends, but I think I'm gonna do that when I'm done like everything, because now I have to go work on the cup coasters and my one, I'm just gonna make one cup cozy, see how that goes. I kind of also want to make one like in the teal color, but we'll just have to see. These are just the cup cozies. I only did 6 rows. These are really simple to make. I don't know why I thought they were going to take me forever. They didn't. And what I like about these is that even though they are acrylic, I will throw them in the wash. I won't put them in the dryer. I'll like hang them up. You know, if like an ice cap spills or there's a leak or whatever, it's going to go on this and then I can just wash it. Now I got to go and make my cup cozy, and I'm gonna be doing ribbing, like a ribbing kind of effect. I really like the ribbing on a cup cozy because it's very stretchy, so if I make it a little smaller it can still stretch, but if it's too loose then it will just keep falling off, and I've learned that. So all I'm gonna do is just go back and forth until I feel like it's enough. I finished all the projects except for one because I don't know where my elastic is. The one thing that I wasn't able to get done was the center console like little cover. And in order for what I wanted it to do, I need elastic and I don't know where it is. So I decided just not to work on it. But I think I will work on it for maybe Monday's vlog. So if you keep up with my vlogs, sometimes I crochet and make stuff in them. First, let's talk about the blanket. This is the finished blanket that's gonna go in the back of the car. I keep having mixed emotions about it because of the color that I used for the Join As You Go. I love the color, okay? Like this particular teal color was my favorite color, I believe, in grade 4 and grade 5. Like I remember I had a binder and it had a bunch of Pikachu stickers on it. This was like 1999. It was this exact shade of teal, and this was like my favorite color for such a long time. My favorite color now, I have to say, is probably like a mustardy orange color. Kinda. It actually is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. The squares weren't that bad. So I just wanted to show you this and kind of how big it is compared to me before I put it into the car. Now, if I wanted it to fill the entire back seat, including like where you actually sit down, I probably would have done maybe 3 more rows on this. Just didn't feel like doing that. And you know, if in the future I'm like, listen, I got nothing to do, I don't know what to do for a video, maybe I'll add on to the blanket, because adding on to the blanket wouldn't be that difficult. So all I would have to do, if I wanted to, here's the thing, if I wanted to add more to this, all I would have to do is just take the bottom row off and then like a side row, and then I can just keep continuing. And then I made the headrest covers. I only have 3 right now because, like I mentioned, I put one in my car already just to make sure that it fit, because it would have been really annoying if I would have made 4 of them and none of them worked out. It worked out, and so I'm like, okay, I will continue making these. The front part is the Rad Party square plus an extra row of that teal I bought plus another row of black. And then on the back is, it's like an oven mitt. And on the back is just a plain black granny square. And then to attach them, I just did a single crochet border around them. That way they're gonna sit like very snug onto the headrest. I found with the old headrests in the old car, they were a little bit bigger. So putting them on the new one, they're just way too big, and I believe I mattress stitched them together. The join was a little bit more stretched out than I would have liked it to be, but because I crocheted them together, the seam in between both is very tight, so I feel like these are going to fit perfectly. I think these look so cute, and I like how they all match. You know I could have done like a different one for each one, or I could have done 2 different in the front and 2 different from the back, but this one's my favorite one, and I just really wanted to use up this yarn, so that is why I made them all the same. I ended up making these. They're very tiny. Very, very tiny. I don't use variegated yarns a lot, so I'm not really the biggest fan of how like it color switched. It's okay. They're going to be like cup coasters. I'm going to put my cup on them. You're never going to see them. I'm never going to, I mean, I'm going to see them like once in a while. There's going to be a cup on them. And what I really like about these is that if anything spills on them, I can just throw them in the wash and be fine with it. So this is the cup coaster, or this is the cup cozy. Was I calling these cozies or coasters? I keep messing up which one's which, even though I know which one's which. So I made this cup cozy, that's it. Because this is a rib stitch, it has a lot of stretch to it, which is very nice. I have made them with single crochets before, whereas this, you get a lot more stretch on it. I did get myself an ice cap today. I already drank it, so I just washed out the cup just so I could show you how it fits. Okay, so that's it. You know, it looks kind of neat on camera. It looks like it's melted. Like, you know, like those crayons where people would get crayons and then they would melt them down. That's kind of what this is looking like. This one didn't take too long, and I believe I did 13 or 14 single crochets by about 26 rows. Because you don't have to make them that big because it will stretch. I really like these ones the best, and I definitely want to make some more. Let's go into the car, put them where they need to go, and then we'll come back here. And I'll talk a little bit more about each project and a little yarn review. I'm going to take the old headrest off and put the new one on. That looks pretty good, nice and snug. I'm going to take out the old ones. They probably should get a good wash. I'm going to put the new ones in. There we go. Those actually fit perfectly. So I think I need to take the headrests off first. Oh. What the heck is that? I didn't know that was a thing. I really thought that the headrests were going to come out because my old car, the headrest came out, and then I was able just to put the fabric in between. How am I going to put this on now? Okay, that kind of works. So I kind of just like pinched it behind, like where it would like close. So that's not bad. All right, so we can put the headrests on. The reason why I put this one in the middle is because these are the same, right? So I didn't want one to be like right underneath. There we go. Look at how fun that looks. It looks so fun. There we go. Okay, that actually doesn't look too bad. That looks pretty fun. So this is what it looks like all done. Honestly, it reaches perfectly on the bottom. Now, I kind of wish I did make more, but that's okay. I can make more if I really want to. And this is what it looks like from the front. I almost forgot to put the little disco balls. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know, there's a lot of teal in the car, so I kind of actually want maybe the teal one for a little bit. We could do the teal one, and then you know what? In the fall time, if I decide to, I don't know, make some fall projects to put in the car, I can put one of the fall color ones in. Over pom-pom. There we go. I think this is like the perfect spot for the disco ball. It's not in my vision. I can see around it. It's good. I didn't want anything too clunky. Unfortunately, I can't have anything too big, but I think that actually looks pretty good, and I almost forgot about it. So yeah, that is all the car projects. I am glad that everything does fit. Like everything fits in the car, which is what I wanted. The blanket is like the perfect size. I think if I added 4 more rows, it would fit the entire seat. I am disappointed that the headrest didn't come off. In the Honda Civic, the headrest, you just pressed like the little button and it would just make it taller, 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 and then it would just pop off. When I had my old blanket in there, I just had to pop them off, wrap the blanket around, and then just put the headrests in, and then they would like secure the blanket down. This one they only go so far and then they stop. Why doesn't the headrest come out? The headrest should come out. I didn't see if the front headrests came out, but the back ones don't, unless there's like a special thing that I have to like press to get it out that I'm not doing, but I'm pretty sure I did what I can do. I'll have to check my owner's manual for that. It just was really hot in the car and I didn't want to do it at the time, even though that was like, what, 5 minutes ago. I'm really glad that the blanket fits the whole thing and it looks so nice, and I really love the headrests. I thought the blanket would have been like my favorite part of all the projects, and it's not. It's the headrest covers. I love how the headrest covers look. I love how they cover the headrests perfectly, and I love how like they form to it. It doesn't look awkward. Like it doesn't look like I tried to put a square on top of it and now they just look square and weird. I like how they fit in the car. I like how they look in the car. They fit perfectly in the car. The cup coasters, I think they fit pretty good. I did 6 rows and that fits perfectly. I think the old ones were 8 rows and I knew that those ones are a little too big, so I took it down 1 row and they fit perfectly in there. I would like to make more. I think I would like to make just some plain teal ones to go there. I think that would look really cute too, and then that way I can switch them out if they need to get washed. Whatever, right? Yarn review. It is kind of hard to give a yarn review on this yarn here, the big twist yarn, because I didn't use enough of it to really figure out if I liked the color changing or not. I thought the color changes would be a little bit more like sporadic, but I feel like it would go from one color back to the other color, back to another color. It didn't like do a nice rainbow effect that I was kind of hoping it would go, because I mean, it is called Rainbow Bright. So I thought there'd be like a better rainbow in here. The yarn is very soft, not as soft as Big Twist Living, like that collection. That is very soft yarn. It's not as soft as that, but it is pretty soft. I'd like to do another project with this. As for the Red Heart all-in-one granny square yarn, I think these ones worked a lot better than the original ones that I did. So the original ones, way back in the day, I think it was like, what, 2024, I first started experimenting with these yarns. I don't know if they still make this yarn, like make newer colors, but I feel like these colors that I used for the blanket are newer colors. So I think they might have like adjusted the tension or whatever. So they did kind of work up a lot easier than the first ones, but I have to say that they were a little odd. Just a quick little thing for Rad Party. The first row I had to use a 4.5 millimeter. Then the second row and the third row, I had to go up to a 5 millimeter. And then for the fourth row and the fifth row, I had to go back down to a 4.5 millimeter. It was like kind of all over the place, but I like how I figured that out, because instead of taking the whole square apart and then redoing it all in the same size hook, per row I would just switch the hook that I needed. So if you are having trouble with these yarns and like say the rows aren't adding up the way that you want them to add up, switch your crochet hooks per row. They look exactly the same. It's not like I'm telling you to use like a 4 hook and then switch to a 10 hook. It's a 4.5 to a 5. So like that 0.5 really made a difference. The weirdest one I have to say was probably Hyperviolet, the purple looking one, because at the beginning it was the same as the rest of them, where it was like 4.5, 5.5, 4.5, 4.5. And then when I got into like the middle of the skein, I needed to use a 5 millimeter for each row, and then in some rows I had to do extra chains. So normally in my granny squares I don't chain in between them, and I only do 2 chains in the corners. Although I think because of this project I'm going to change the way that I do it. I actually prefer chaining in the middle, and I like doing 3 chains in the corners because it gives you more of a nicer square and it doesn't really roll up on you. Not for the Red Heart yarn though. Like don't think you got to do it for this, because it doesn't really work out that way. But certain rows I needed to do that because I had so much extra yarn. I understand if the whole entire skein is exactly the same. Okay, like, okay, I need a 4.5 for this, I need a 5 for this row, I need to do chains in this row, but that was not the case. I think it was the Neon Lights and the Hyperviolet, they kept switching. So like every 2 or 3 squares, I would have to change the way that I would crochet it, like the hook sizes would change. Because at the beginning, Neon Lights, I needed to use a 5 for the entire thing. And then when I got in the middle, a 5 was too big, and I had to go down to a 4.5. Very strange on how that all happened. Did cheat a little bit, and I wouldn't really call it cheating. Like in some rows, I'd have way too much yarn. I wasn't gonna pull back. So I would just put like maybe an extra stitch or 2 or an extra chain. And then for the rows that maybe I didn't have enough yarn, I would maybe not put so many in the corners. Kind of easier to hide if you took a stitch away from the corners. And it worked out, okay? They're done, it's good. They're in the car. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I think that's really like the only notes that I have. If you're going to use these yarns and you have tension like mine, because some people need a bigger hook to get the tension, some people need a smaller hook. It just, again, it all depends on how you crochet. If you have similar tension to me, then switching the crochet hooks per row, very helpful, and I wasn't having to pull a bunch of yarn out just to make it work. That's my review on this particular granny square yarn. I do have reviews for all the other granny square yarns on a granny square yarn playlist. I love these projects. I think I give the headrests a 10 out of 10, the blanket a 10 out of 10. I kind of wish that the cup cozies and cup coasters, the yarn was a little bit better, so maybe I give them a 9 out of 10. But I really loved all these projects. I thought they were so fun. It was very nice to take a little break from doing such a big tapestry project and doing like a nice, I was gonna say nice little projects, but I went and I made another blanket. I think that's it for like crocheting blankets for a while. I don't have any other blankets I need to make for anything that I can think of at the moment. I think I'm blanketed out. I've made so many in the last few months that I don't think I need to make any more. In the comments below, please let me know if any of y'all have crocheted things for your car. Has this video inspired you to actually crochet anything for your car? I always love making things for my car. It makes it a little bit more personable, and because this was a new car and I'm still getting used to it, and I'm still kind of bummed out of my Honda Civic not being here anymore, it does make me feel a little bit happier now going into the car and seeing all the fun things that I've crocheted. I think that does it for this video, so y'all have a good day now.